Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. What is this? Is this?
Oh, boy.
Is this signed artwork?
How many Tori Amos signatures do you have on various things? Welcome to Play Record. I'm Tyler.
I'm Jess.
And we're going to talk about what's on our turntable.
Tori Amos in Times of Dragons. This is her latest record. It was released in May.
Mm-hmm.
It is her 18th studio album.
Huge. So prolific.
I will get to that part in just a minute.
It warrants a discussion, yeah.
Her concept around this album is a woman who has fled her sadistic, billionaire, lizard king husband. She flees to the deep south in the US, and the record follows her journey. She meets this daughter character along the way. They have some duets on the album, and it is all a metaphor for the burning down of democracy.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is the daughter character her real daughter?
Like the character's daughter?
Yeah. Is she singing alongside a duet with another singer?
She actually does sing with her actual daughter,
Right,
Tori.
yeah.
But no, this is just this young character. Okay. So the woman who has fled is like I would say Tori's actual age, like she's in her 60s. The daughter character is just this young woman who she meets along the way, and they're sort of like navigating the problems around them.
Okay.
And this woman becomes the young woman kind of becomes like a helper to
and Tori
this
just
character.
embodies both characters in the music.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Although she does have her daughter actually sings with her on some of the songs.
Also really cool.
My favorite songs are Shush, and that was, I think, the second single that she released. It sounds kind of threatening.
Is the shushing like is like the shushing from the perspective of the husband?
The shushing is almost so this is my opinion, and like if you go on Reddit, there are so many theories around it. I see it kind of as like this woman advising other young women how to navigate the world that they're in, because she like talks about like the patriarchy and how like powerful men want to like shush you basically to keep you quiet. So if you're a Tori fan, you know that she has had like a, I don't know, quote unquote feud with Courtney Love for years and years. So apparently Courtney Love was one of the first women to come out and speak up against Harvey Weinstein. And she was just kind of dismissed. Yeah. And it wasn't until later that like all these accusations started coming up and that like something actually came from it. But in the song, there's a lyric in the song where Tori says, can I live through this? Courtney, thank you. And apparently it's this like olive branch peace offering, thanking her for having spoken up during the time.
And is this the first time that they've tried to make peace?
Yeah, as far as I know, yes. Wow. I mean, like privately, I don't know if anything's happened. I kind of doubt it. So yeah, so that's kind of a neat little Easter egg in the song.
Can I ask a question just about your impression of the overall tone, like the main character who's fleeing her husband? What's her outlook at this point? Is she hopeful? Is she completely disillusioned? Does she see a way forward?
That's a great question. I think the album, the whole record is kind of like how she evolves through it. So like, I think it starts off feeling really like threatening and scary, and you're aware of all of these challenges that she's facing. And then it ends with this song called 23 Peaks. That was, I think, the first song I made you. Well, actually, it wasn't the first song, but it was like one of the songs in the early days.
You didn't make me. I'm happy to listen to it.
I encouraged you to.
I wasn't chained
sorry,
to the bed.
That's like my Tori Amos defensiveness.
It's like you picture a bare room with a bed bolted to the ground and like loudspeakers coming in through the outside.
Yeah, it's
And
like Clockwork Orange.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, you got to wear the eye goggles.
yeah. So the last song on the album is called 23 Peaks. And I think this is another example of a song that you like anyone can listen to it and take, whatever you want. But it sounds like this woman is evolving and changing. And I feel like it's like a metaphor for aging, for accepting change. And it's such a beautiful song. There's a lot of instrumental, it's very ethereal sounding. And it kind of reminds me of like Under the Pink. She ends with Yes, Anastasia, which is like an almost 10-minute track. And it's like you kind of go through all of these waves of sounds, and like her singing, it's like soft and it gets loud and the music gets really intense and it slows down. So it kind of reminds me of that.
Take this burden, will you from me?
One thing I wanted to talk about is Pitchfork. So this album did get a lot of really great reviews. I will say, so I'm longtime Tori Amos fan, and I know so many people, like, I feel like if you know me, you know that I'm a Tori fan.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first talk to people about them, they say, oh yeah, I loved her in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know Little Earthquakes, maybe some Under the Pink, and then their knowledge of any kind of music kind of falls off there. She has been consistently making music since Little Earthquakes, basically. Like she's released albums every few years. She still is touring. She's on tour right now. ToriAmos.com if you want to see if she's playing near you. But one thing I wanted to say about that is that I think it's so commendable for any artist who is still like just consistently making music.
Mm-hmm.
It always feels like she has something really important to say whenever she releases an album. Like she's always writing in response to just like what's going on in the world around us, change within her own life. And I appreciate that so much because, and no shame to artists who do stop, because it's a ton of work, especially touring, which she is still doing. But Pitchfork, they rated this album like 6 point something out of 10. And it was they basically were criticizing her in terms of not being able to capture like her early albums, or like the type of music that she was producing back then.
Yeah.
And I just think that's such a lazy and irresponsible criticism. I mean, I don't know, maybe that's like irresponsible is taking it far, but I just think like we don't want people period, to stay the same, right? Especially when we're spanning over 30 years.
Yeah.
So I think that's such a weird criticism. And then they tried to compare one of the tracks on the song, Provincetown, to earlier songs, and saying like, this is the closest that this album comes to her sounding like her early records.
Yeah.
And so I just think, I don't know, like, this reviewer, what do you want from a record or an album? Like, it's one thing to just criticize. I guess I think that you should criticize a record as a standalone piece when you're reviewing. And I think it's fine to say like, oh, I liked this record better, or the music was more interesting on this other record. But to compare it in terms of like, oh, she's just not doing what she used to be doing. It's not a good position to take.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I would say that I appreciate record reviews where they will look at an album alongside other albums to kind of see trends. And I think if you've got enough records out there, it's hard not to do that. You know, there's people that kind of go through these periods where they're just kind of they're tackling a certain issue, and there's like 4 albums that do it, and so it's a natural progression, and it's easy to see them as together. But yeah, to your point, I would be upset as the musician if I'm being compared to who I was 30 years ago. I remember Margaret Atwood was being interviewed, and they were talking about her new book, which was a continuation of The Handmaid's Tale, and people asked her like something to the effect of like, how come you didn't capture I don't remember exactly what the question was, like some of the characters from The Handmaid's Tale, and she was just like instantly was like, well, that's not me anymore. Like, I'm not that person. That was however many years ago it was. And so to not expect a progression and to not honor a person's legacy and like meet them where they are now, I would agree there's laziness involved in that. I mean, maybe there are people out there and they just want to listen to like Bruce Springsteen, like Born to Run over and over and forget any other Bruce Springsteen album. But if you're really a fan of the musician, I think you follow them and you kind of follow their journey.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And also I'll say that this is the first record, like kind of to that point, I think her sound has evolved record to record. Like you can like hear distinct changes in each record. It took me a while for several records to like get used to it or to like almost accept that change. You know, like I think just like privately as a listener, as a fan, like I always wanted something to be Voice for Pele or Choir Girl. And I even like Scarlet's Walk. I think that felt like a departure, like a big departure from her previous sound. I love that album now, but I remember certain tracks on that record that I was like, oh, I don't know about this. So I think it's normal to feel that way, but also I think it's so important to appreciate the fact that someone is changing and exploring different sounds and just like inspired to create music and also giving it to us, the fans, because I see it as such a gift that like this person that I loved for so long still is doing that. Yeah, like she's a very different person today than she was back in 1992 when she released Little Earthquakes. So the other thing also is that she's touring, and this is the first tour where she has invited backup singers to support her. Her voice has changed. She can't, I don't want to say she can't because we don't know. I guess we're just speculating. But she may not be able to hit certain notes the way that she used to. And if you're lucky enough to have seen her live in the past, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We went to see her on this tour, and I was a little nervous about what that experience was going to be like because I figured it was going to be so different and like, what is it going to be like to hear like these other women like singing along with her? I cannot stress enough how amazing of an experience it was. It was so beautiful. So beautiful. The women, they call them the angel witches who sing with her. They just sound so incredible. They're all like independently Tori Amos fans. So I think like, I can't imagine what an incredible experience that would be to get to do that.
It must have loved it.
So I think about like just the same as her, like continuing to create new music is her like, I guess, I don't know, is it innovative? It's, or like resourcefulness of finding a way to still tour, again, to like give us that gift of touring and like us getting to see her live. But she's like found a way to make that happen and still deliver just a beautiful experience for the fans.
Sure.
So I just think that's so cool. I realize I get like so worked up when I talk about her, but I just
Well, you know, I'm thinking about it even more this whole like meeting the person where they are, and there's I don't know what the right. Maybe it's not disrespectful, but to expect somebody to be and to create music like they did at a certain point. And it's different if they suck now. Like if something happened and they just got a new band
Right.
and now they suck. But if the person is still, they got all their chops and they're making good music, songwriting is great and all that, but they've evolved. Whatever happened at that first point where they came out and you first knew them and you loved them to now has changed them as a person. And that whole experience of their life matters to the music. And to expect them to go back to here, you're discounting all of this experience. I feel the same way because I know that Nick Cave has gotten this too. People are like, are you ever going to make another album like Murder Ballads or another album like Tender Prey where there's like a lot of like screaming and craziness on there? And the man has been through a lot, and we can talk about this in another episode, but it just seems foolish to expect the person he is now to play like the person he was then.
Right.
Too much has happened.
Yes.
And that's a foolish thing to ask.
Yeah, exactly. And like, why would you want that? Because also that means that like this person is inspired to create or was inspired to create the record they created.
Yeah.
Or the song they created. So like asking them, I guess it just seems silly because it's like, they did not create that thing because that was not in them anymore. Like they were not inspired or motivated to create something similar. So it's like either you follow them on their journey or you move on.
Yeah.
And you continue to just listen to the same albums, which is fine. Because I'm sure, like I have had experiences like that with certain musicians where I'm not interested in like their new material, but I will forever listen to. Oh yeah, sure. Yes, that's a great example. Yeah. But you'll forever continue to listen to whatever previous albums that you love. And that's fine too. But I just don't think it's fair to criticize somebody for changing. It's silly.
Yeah.
So this is the album cover art. You see these like dragon wings here.
I can hold it for you if you want to.
Okay.
Vanna White.
Yeah, sure. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. What is this? Is this?
Oh, boy.
Is this signed artwork?
How many Tori Amos signatures do you have on various things?
I actually don't know. Maybe just like 10 or something.
10.
I mean.
Okay.
And some of it, like this, I ordered the record signed. She did not like personally sign this for me. I mean, I know she did in her heart, but.
She thought about you because she's seen you enough events.
Yeah. But yeah, in the, there's just beautiful photography and art in here. And like this is the daughter character here. And then some of the people who she meets along the way. There's a song called Gasoline Girls. And these are the Gasoline Girls. And then,
closer.
Oh, sure.
There you go.
Yeah. And then I just want to show this vinyl because it's really neat too. And I've never seen anything like this before.
It is a cool cover.
It kind of looks like, I don't know, what would you call that? Like fog or?
Yeah, it's like wispy smoke.
Yeah, smoke.
Going through it. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, so really, really beautiful, thoughtful artwork throughout. So if you were a Tori fan back in the 90s, you should know she's still making music.
She's working hard.
She's working hard always. She might be performing at a city near you. We get to go see her later this month.
At Red Rocks?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're going to Red Rocks. Never been there.
Yeah.
Classic venue.
Yeah. Yeah, give it a listen. Thanks